Hello and good morning. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Gregson. Welcome to Shifting Lanes. Today I have the 2018 Nissan Rogue with ProPilot Assist, which is one of their new features for this year. I have been given this generously by Nissan to take it for a week and see exactly what is new, how it's driving, and if it's any different than the 2017 version, which I had last year. With that said, let's hop in and let's take a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of the 2018 Nissan Rogue. Let's check it out. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for watching, and please consider subscribing if you like what you see. We do car reviews on cars like this. We also do project cars with our Volvo V70R, our BRZ, Subaru BRZ, and our Lexus IS300. We also go on really fun press events as well as lifestyle event drives. So if you like any of that stuff, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for plenty more awesome videos to come after this one, and go check out our old videos as well. With that being said, let's now hop in and check out the good, the bad, and the ugly of the 2018 Nissan Rogue. Okay. Now that we're inside, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Nissan Rogue. This particular Rogue starts out with a 2.5 liter, 170 horsepower, 175 foot-pound of torque engine. It has a CVT transmission with sport mode switch, an eco mode, 4-wheel front and rear disc brakes, 18-inch alloy wheels, temporary spare tire, and front independent suspension with a rear multi-link suspension. It has a bevy of different options for safety and security, comfort and convenience, and even more comfort and convenience. This particular Rogue, as optioned, is $36,915. Base price of $32,410. With the premium package option for $1,820, platinum package, which is the 19-inch wheels, for $790, platinum reserve interior, which is these beautiful tan leather appointed seats with the quilted leather inserts, the premium paint, which is a really cool color, which is this orange. It's really nice on this car, and floor mats and cargo area protector and first aid kit. Destination charges are $975, and that is what you get with this exact Nissan Rogue. So actually, really quick, before I start, I wanted to talk about 3 things that are new for this particular model, because I had this exact car last year. It was a 2017, it was blue. I'll put it up in the card above if you want to see the 5 things I loved, as well as the 5 things I hated about that model. And I'm curious to see if anything in this model kind of continues from 2017 to 2018. There weren't a lot of major upgrades. So with this, the 3 major updates are the available ProPilot Assist technology. Now that's Nissan's, driver aid assist on the highway. It has lane keeping features. It has radar guided cruise control, and it sort of drives itself a little bit, but it doesn't. There's no such thing as autonomous vehicles. There's no such thing as a car that drives itself yet. This has somewhat of that, but it's driver aided. I'll get to that a little later. It also has an updated infotainment system, which I can already tell is better, and Amazon Alexa skill compatibility. So if you have Amazon Alexa or an Echo or anything like that, it can learn different things that you do on the regular. So that's what's new in this particular Rogue. Let's get on to the good. The good, and there's a lot of good in this car, and you might be surprised about that because we're an enthusiast channel and drive a lot of sports cars. This is a generally nice place to be. If you look around this interior, it is really appointed well. There's not a ton of things out of place, misshapen. It's really kind of just a generally nice place to be. The seat color of this, I really love it. It's the same color as the one I had last year from Nissan. It's this burnt orange, dark tan color, and it's really nice. And I still maintain to this day, these are 2 of the most comfortable front seats I've ever sat in the entire automotive industry. I got called out on that by someone at an event last year when we were talking about seat comfort, and they immediately called BS on me. But the thing is, I really think these seats are quite comfortable, even for cars that are 2, 3, 4, 5 times the price. I really think that is one of the best things about this car is the comfort. The ride comfort in that same vein is also very, very good. If you, for what this car is, with no air suspension, no sport suspension, no active damping in any way, in any modes or whatever that you have in a lot of other cars these days, this car rides really, really well. So by commuter car standards, this is an excellent commuter car. You're going to like where you're sitting. You're going to like how it rides on the road. So kudos to Nissan for producing a really good commuter small SUV that can obviously seat 5 and have room for the family. So that is the first good of this car. The next good is the price, actually. Now, some might say that $36,000 is a lot of money for one of these cars, but you know, they're creeping up there in price, and as soon as you get to the next level, I drove a Volvo XC40, which I'll also put the card up there for you guys to see. I did a quick drive on that, and that bases at $36,000. It's also a little bit smaller than this. This is one of the largest small SUVs in class, and if you're comparing it to the Volvo XC40, which you shouldn't do, it's in a little bit of a different class, a little bit of a different price bracket, that base is around $36,000, and you can option it up to over $40,000. So value for money in the Nissan Rogue is really quite good. You're getting a lot for your money, good infotainment, a decent amount of technology, room for the family, and a nice looking car. I think that actually leads into the next good after the price, is this color. This color is awesome. I love strange colored cars. Everything's so monochrome these days. Black, tan, white, silver, blah, blah, blah. It's very all the same. And those cars do look good. A lot of cars look good in those colors, black specifically, white specifically, but I like weirder color cars. I own one blue one, I own a silver one, but that's changing soon. This orange is very, very nice on the outside. It's a great looking exterior color, and it definitely even attracts a lot of attention. I've got some looks going by going, wow, that's really an orange Rogue. Not that they were mouthing that or I could, you know, read their lips or anything, but I could tell what they were thinking, like, good Lord, that's a crazy color, and I love that. I think that's really cool. I like that Nissan is offering those colors on the Rogue and other cars. I think that's really nice. I think that the styling, another good thing, the styling of this car is quite nice. Last year we did a comparison of the Hyundai Tucson and the Nissan Rogue that I had for the week. We made 2 or 3 videos actually with that Rogue. Again, I'll put the card up top if you would like to go look at that comparison video. And when we made that video, I actually said I prefer the looks of the Tucson. I actually think I'm going to change my mind now. This car's really grown on me as far as looks are concerned. I think that this is a really nice looking car, and I think that this I actually like a lot better than a lot of other cars in this class right now. The last good I will talk about this car is the MPG. The MPG noted is 27 combined, with 25 around the town or in the city and 32 on the highway. I can say that is spot on. So I did a trip to Boston and back in one day, and I got doing about, I don't know, between 65 and 75 depending on what the speed limit was. I got 29.4 mpg, so that's even better than its combined. I was doing mostly highway driving, and I did it would probably be an 80-20 split, 80% on the highway, 20% in the city. I think that you can easily get this thing between 30 and 32 mpg on a highway depending on your speed, so that is very good, and I think that Nissan hit it right on the money with their MPG rating. Alright, so with that said, let's get into some of the bad of the Nissan Rogue, because there is no car on earth without faults. Starting first with the engine is anemic. I don't really like the engine. It's the same story as last year. The 170 horsepower, 175 foot-pound of torque is not enough for this car. This car is 3,600 pounds. This car should have upwards of 200, maybe a little more. I think that it's underpowered for its class. My wife owns a Honda CR-V. It has a smaller engine than this. I believe it's a 1.6 liter turbo. It has 190 horsepower, and it is definitely quicker and faster than this car. Not that you need to go crazy fast, because that is not this class. It really isn't. you need enough power to get out of its own way and to get out of a sticky situation. This one is a little slow. I don't think it can do that in a good way. The CR-V definitely does a better job of that. So the engine is the first thing. On that same line, the second thing is the CVT transmission. It's been improved a little bit in sort of its gearing ratio, because it has a little bit of, when you floor it, it goes from, 6,000 to 4,000 to 6,000, trying to find that optimal rev range to be in, but it still whines, it's still loud, it's still not a planetary normal gear box in any way. I don't like it. I don't think it is really that good. However, for normal driving, it's great. It's fine. You're not going to be winning any races with it, and the transmission is good for normal day-to-day driving needs. I just don't like it. I don't like CVT transmissions on the whole. I don't think that they're very engaging or good. Another thing that's bad about this car is actually a little surprising to me. The trunk space in this car, when compared to my wife's CR-V, is smaller. It seems a lot smaller. I would need to go back and look at the exact dimensions and capacity and volume in here, but judging by looks and judging by the car carrier, or the child carrier that we had in the back along with the stroller, it fits way better in my wife's CR-V when compared to this car. That being said, there's adequate space in the trunk for normal day-to-day things, but when you really pack it full, I don't think you're going to find as much space in here as you would with a Honda CR-V or another type of car in this class. Again, that being said, the cabin here has a ton of space. So the cabin is very well spaced. It's very spacious. It feels nice to sit in the front or back. You won't, if you're very tall, you won't have a bad time. But the trunk specifically, you might find it a touch small for the class. Another bad of this car is the actual updated infotainment system. And when I say bad, it's kind of, reaching for a bad at this point. It's updated. It feels a lot better than what it was. This integrates CarPlay. It's definitely improved, but it's not the best on the market. And I'll caveat that by saying that there is no real good infotainment system on the market. I think Volvo's is quite, decent. I think I said in my XC40 and XC90 reviews that they were good. When manufacturers put infotainment system in cars, they're almost out of date immediately. With how fast phones and GoPro cameras and other things are evolving as far as technology is concerned, OEM systems are just out of date fast. Almost immediately, like I just said. So the infotainment system is bad in that respect. But with that being said, the layout's very good. It's easy to control. It's not, hard to use. Every button works perfectly. I do like that they integrate buttons as well as the screen and buttons on the screen. So I think that is good, but there's also a bad in that. The last bad that I want to say is something I also mentioned about the 2017 Rogue, and that is these buttons down here on the left. I don't know why these buttons are down here. I wish they would have integrated them into the infotainment system, the center stack, or the steering wheel in some way. The traction control off button is down here, along with the not heated steering wheel, the steering assist, the trunk, the gas cap. Now those are fine. Those are normally, out of reach somewhere in any car. This one also has a heated steering wheel, which is down here, the all-wheel drive lock, which is down here, the sport button, which is down here, and the eco mode, which is down here. So all of these things are down here that you would usually need on, your steering wheel or your infotainment system, and they're just off to the left. I think it's just an awkward position. I noted it, like I said, in the last video last year, and it's just a little weird to me that they put things down there. That's pretty much it as far as the bad is concerned. Let's move on to the ugly, and the ugly is sort of controversial. Let me explain. There's only one ugly of this car, because this car's been out for a little while, and if you don't know anything about the Rogue, I hope now you do. And you've probably seen these all over the road. They're very popular. They sell pretty well. The ugly is the new ProPilot Assist. And apologies to Nissan, because the way that we structure these videos now, our review videos are good, bad, and ugly. There's 3 categories to put things in. And this is an ugly because it's not good or bad. So there are good things about it and there are bad things about it. Let me explain, and this is why this might be a little bit controversial. This is a new system for Nissan, and it's so new that they gave me an entire pamphlet on the ProPilot Assist and what it does and how it works. So you get, well, at least I got, this whole instructional kind of thing. When you're driving, you can hit a little button on the steering wheel. It's blue with 2 circles around it to give you your cone of whatever, safety. And you can set your distance, your cruising distance. You can set your cruise control. And there's also steering assist and radar guided distance control between the car in front of you. When you're in traffic on a highway and you're commuting, it is really good. It does stop for you. It kind of, gets the car in front of you and just, hops along with it nicely in traffic. When you're cruising at about, 65, 75 normal highway speed, it keeps up very nicely, and it brakes really hard when there's a brake in front of you, and it does that nicely. On the other hand, it was bouncing between lanes for me during the steering assist, and when you take your hands off the wheel, which you should never do, but I did just for testing purposes, it gives you a little warning, and it's pressure sensitive, and you put your hands back on, and that's all well and good, but the system seemed inconsistent to me. It was bouncing off lanes for the steering assist. It was, when it was following, sometimes it picked up the car in front of it very well, sometimes it did not. I even cleaned the camera and the radar just to make sure that everything was on the up and up and in a good way before I tested this, but it just was an inconsistent system. But for normal day-to-day driving, you won't find much problems with it. You should never use this as just an autonomous experience. Again, that doesn't exist in the car world at all at this point in time. There are different levels of autonomy. I'd say this is probably a level 1 or 2 with what it offers. So don't think that you can just set it and forget it. That's not a thing, especially in this car. I think the inconsistencies with the distance control, the speed control, and the lane bouncing, I have to put that in an ugly column just because it's neither good nor bad. I don't think that the system is poor in any way. I just think it needs to be monitored like a normal driver should. Treat it like a cruise control, not necessarily a semi-autonomous system. So unfortunately, I have to put it in the ugly column because of how these are structured, but I enjoyed driving it to Boston and back. It actually helped me out a lot in some of the traffic that I was in. So that really is pretty much it on the ugly of this car. There's really not much else other than that. So this is my last day with the Rogue. I've enjoyed my time with it. Has it improved since 2017? Yes, I believe it has, with the ProPilot Assist system, with the offering that the Rogue is. It's good value for money. I think that if you purchase one, you're not going to regret it. So yeah, if you're looking for something in this class, definitely go drive the Nissan Rogue. Personally, I would probably have another car over it, just because I'm a automotive enthusiast that likes sports cars and things like that, and a little bit more oomph up front. The engine and the CVT transmission would be the deal breaker for me. Otherwise, this is an awesome little SUV, and it is great for daily driving, super good commuter car, and a very comfortable, nice place to be. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry this was not a more in-depth review. We are having some technical difficulties with our GoPro setup, which is why it's sitting here. I'm actually shooting this on my iPhone. Our GoPro, well, my GoPro and my microphone are both broken, so I hope this came out good for you guys and you had a good experience regardless. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to check out some more of our videos, check them out right here. You can also look at more of our good, bad, and ugly videos, which should be here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click right here and they will, well, you'll see more of our videos. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Gregson, and I will catch you next time. See ya.